I've been getting a lot of questions lately about how to read the Bible. So this is my advice to any new beginner Bible reader. First, let's start off with the Bible is separated into two sections, the Old Testament and the New Testament. The Old Testament has 39 books, and that's starting at Genesis and ending with Malachi. This is mainly going to be all of Jewish history from the beginning of time until about 400 years before Jesus' birth. And the New Testament has 27 books, starting with the four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and then ending with Revelation. To show you guys the size difference, this is all Old Testament, and this is New Testament. It's going to be really tempting to read this as if you would read any other book, which is starting in the beginning and reading it all the way to the end. But I and most other people don't recommend starting to read the Bible that way. Most people recommend to start in the New Testament with the story of Jesus. I personally recommend reading all four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. A lot of people like to recommend to start with John. I, however, disagree with that because John was actually written with the understanding that you would have already read the other Gospels. After the four Gospels, you then have Acts, which is actually written by Luke. Acts is the story of what happened after the resurrection and the early beginnings of the church. Acts also includes the story behind Saul, later then Paul, and his conversion story, which is really important to read because a large bulk of the rest of the New Testament is letters written by Paul. From there, it's really easy to just continue on the rest of the New Testament. It includes letters from Paul to specific churches, to specific people. There are also some letters from other people in here that are basically a standard for how Christians should live until Christ returns. The last book in the Bible is Revelation. Revelation is the only book that is not history and what has happened, but it is prophecy of what is to come. For new beginners, readers of the Bible, I actually recommend skipping Revelation for now. So to reiterate, the order that I recommend reading the Bible in is starting at the New Testament and going all the way through to the last book, which is Jude, right before Revelation. Skip Revelation, and then at that point, go back to the beginning, start with Genesis, and read the entire book all the way through. Reading the Bible all the way through is no small feat. Some people do Bible in a year plans, and some people it takes them years to finish the Bible. No matter how long it takes you and what order you decide to do it in, you are blessed reading the truth and the Word of God. And I encourage you to start as soon as possible. God bless.